Keep in mind, this is the same Angel Reese who once boldly claimed that people didn't watch the WNBA for Caitlin Clark. Recently, after Caitlin Clark revealed her departure from the Premier Basketball League, Angel Reese appeared to see an opportunity to shine. It seemed Reese believed she was the main attraction. Even though Clark is no longer a direct competitor in this new league, Reese has struggled to stand out. She had a real chance to make a name for herself outside of Caitlin Clark's shadow. However, her performance in the debut game didn't live up to expectations. Critics have pointed to her attitude and lackluster play as reasons for the disappointing start. Despite the hype, her skills didn't translate into early success.
She got kind of overshadowed by Cameron Brink, too. But remember, this girl was picked.
I just want to know, why couldn't you deliver now, Angel, when the competition was manageable and all eyes were on you? How exactly are you going to respond or defend yourself? Right now, we're all watching this unfold, and honestly, what was supposed to be your next big thing moment is starting to look more like the next big letdown.
Can't see that Angel did anything if they didn't show.
On January 17th, 2025, the debut of the unmatched basketball league raised the stakes even higher, and the hometown favorite, Rose Basketball Club, was counting on Angel Reese to deliver. But instead of a statement win, she handed the victory to the Vin Basketball Club as a welcome gift. The final score, Vin BC 79, Rose BC 73, might look close on paper, but let's be honest, it wasn't. That chaotic 60-second stretch said it all. The game was wild, and not in a good way.
And you will have, and maybe that'd be good for the controversy. But the Reese's not gonna be happy if Angel just running up and down.
With more hype than a Black Friday sale, Reese's debut in this league was highly anticipated. But when the moment came, the big announcement turned out to be a total letdown. Sure, 10 points and 14 rebounds might look decent on paper, but context matters. She shot under 30% from the field and committed 4 crucial turnovers that seriously hurt her team's momentum. Reese couldn't rise to the occasion, dragging Rose BC down with her. Her 3 fast break opportunities were supposed to be game-changing moments, but she fumbled them like hot potatoes, making them more frustrating than effective. While she did grab 14 rebounds, the impact was minimal. After all, what's the point of pulling down boards if you're just fueling the other team's offense? To make matters worse, Reese offered little resistance to Ryan Howard, essentially setting up camp in the paint without making any real defensive impact.
I didn't join this crew. I mean, I feel like I can pull everybody on the team. If it's coming from leadership, veteran leadership. Lexi brings a lot of defense. I've been playing against Lexi.
Speaking of Ryan Howard, she delivered a phenomenal performance that, if anything, made Reese's struggles look even worse by comparison. Howard dropped 33 points on an efficient 55% shooting, stepping up exactly when it mattered most. While Angel Reese was expected to be a steady contributor and a leader on the court, she ended up looking more like a liability, wandering through possessions and letting the game slip further out of reach. Meanwhile, when the pressure ramped up in the fourth quarter, Howard took control like a true star, scoring 11 of her team's final points and sealing the win with authority.
Right here. So they got Lona Owls, number 1, Phantom number 2, Kyle number 3, Miss number 4, Lacey number 5, and you got Rose number 6. Come on, bro. Y'all know damn.
Reese wasn't the only one who came up short. Her entire team followed her down the drain. While Vin BC moved the ball like a well-rehearsed symphony, Rose BC looked like they were running a disorganized pickup game at the local YMCA. The contrast was painful to watch. Ryan Howard led by example, bringing clarity and fire to her squad, while Reese's lack of presence and uncertainty seemed to drag her team down with her. Rose BC's cohesion unraveled as their rating and rhythm fell apart. Howard played in perfect sync with her teammates, disciplined, unstoppable, and strategic. In contrast, Reese's game felt chaotic, lacking the leadership, structure, and direction that her team desperately needed. The leadership gap between the two teams couldn't have been clearer.
A problem. She already a thorn in Angel's eye because Angel thinks she's the cutest chicken.
Angel Reese didn't just have a bad game. She delivered a performance that highlighted every flaw in her skill set. Turnovers, missed free throws, a lack of defensive presence, everything was on full display in what turned into a complete unraveling. It was almost like a checklist of everything you don't want from your supposed star. To make matters worse, she looked completely unprepared for the big stage. A bad night is one thing, but this was something else entirely. Meanwhile, from start to finish, Vin BC put on a clinic against Rose BC. Their execution, chemistry, and game plan were all locked in. Not only did they beat Rose BC, they exposed them. What was meant to be Reese's breakout moment instead became a spotlight on the chaos surrounding her as she struggled to find her footing in what should have been a defining performance.
Things similar to say about Unrivaled. When Angel was asked about Unrivaled, she said, "I would stay here forever. Everything I need is here, from massages to cold tubs to being able to have resources to work out."
Comparing Ryan Howard and Angel Reese's leadership would be like night and day. Ryan Howard's skill as a WNBA superstar is undeniable, backed by a stellar career and a record that already intimidates opponents before the first whistle blows. For Angel Reese, understanding what it takes to lead at that level is still a work in progress. Howard's 33-point performance left Reese stunned, despite the potential that many see in her and her team's past success. In contrast, Reese crumbled under pressure, responding to adversity as if she were in a car accident, dragging her squad down with her. The team's performance was shaky, sending a clear message that the game was slipping away. Howard, on the other hand, commanded the floor with the poise of a seasoned leader, orchestrating each play for Vin BC with precision, vision, and authority. Reese, however, looked overwhelmed, as if she were out of her depth, like a deer caught in headlights. Howard's leadership was praised by the media, while Reese faced harsh criticism for failing to inspire and be ready for the big stage. Howard's display was a masterclass in leadership, while Reese's performance was a textbook example of how not to lead a team. There's no clearer contrast.
Stewart knows that she can beat Angel off the dribble. And so that is something, if there is a mismatch in the 3v3, obviously you want to take advantage of that, but it could turn into a game that's just kind of one-dimensional. Now, it does seem like they're running a lot of half-court sets. They have
Let's break down exactly why this performance was so disastrous. Angel Reese, the weakest link for Rose BC, made 4 critical mistakes that allowed Vin BC to score 8 easy points. This wasn't just a bad night, it was a complete catastrophe. Her struggles at the free throw line were another disaster, adding insult to injury. She missed 2 crucial shots, and for a team like Rose BC in a high-stakes game, those 4 missed points felt like a gift to the opposition. These are the kinds of mistakes that teams make when they're headed for a crushing defeat. But wait, there's more. It seemed like she'd never seen a double team before, as Vin BC's defense easily rattled her. Instead of adjusting, she panicked, kept losing possession, and allowed the other team to seize the advantage. Watching her struggle was like watching someone try to put out a fire with gasoline. And let's not forget her defensive woes. Ryan Howard didn't just control her, she dominated the paint as if it were her living room. Reese, the supposed gatekeeper, opened the door wide, allowing Howard to easily rack up points. It was a defensive disaster on all fronts. Furthermore, when her team needed her most to step up and inspire, Angel Reese disappeared instead of taking the initiative and igniting confidence. The leadership role she was supposed to fill was a gaping void, a missed opportunity to lead. Reese faded into the background, and Rose BC fell apart. This wasn't just a poor performance, it was a complete collapse. After the game, both players and observers were left questioning whether Reese had what it takes to wear the captain's badge. The answer now has a starkly negative tone. Caitlin Clark's words rang out like a sledgehammer. Reese's performance was far from peak. Before stepping into the spotlight, she needs to focus on the basics. She was right to criticize Clark, but her own debut was lackluster, with her flaws flashing like a neon sign for all to see. The public's reaction has been mixed. Some still see potential in Reese, while others agree with Clark's pointed remarks. Is there a silver lining? If so, her mistakes are painfully obvious, and they offer a clear roadmap for improvement. Reese needs to reduce anxiety under pressure, cut down on turnovers, make free throws, and learn what it truly means to lead. But let's be honest, nothing's easy in this league, and mistakes are not easily forgiven. So what's next, Angel? Are you ready to face the consequences of unmet expectations, Or will you rise to silence Clark's critique? If this debut is any indication, you've got a long road ahead before anyone takes you seriously. You'll need to work your way out of Ryan Howard's shadow, because if this season continues like this, it will be a long and embarrassing one for both you and your team.